So it looks like it's all over in the Premier League as Manchester City move in to top spot with a game left to play. Is there any hope that Arsenal can get their hands on the trophy? Well, standing in the way or deciding this week's campaign is West Ham United and David Moyes' final game. He couldn't. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today it is the final game of the Premier League campaign, and of course we have still got the small matter of who's going to be the champion, that's right, over in the Premier League, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for Premier League is right here under one Rooski. We pretty much know who, of course, is going down in the division right here, right now. Of course, confirmed, Sheffield United and Burnley are back down in the Championship. Luton needs snookers, realistically. They are 3 points adrift, 3 points left on the table, but a whopping goal difference. They'll need to win 6-0 and hope Forest lose 6-0 the other way. It ain't going to happen, no matter how much you want to do it. So that's that. That's confirmed. Meanwhile, as of today, recording is on the 15th of May, there is still a small glimmer of hope for that 6th place finish. With Man United, Chelsea and Newcastle all duking it out, and they're actually going to play today. I'm not going to talk about. I might gloss over those games briefly, but we're not really predicting those. We're predicting the final games of the season, so we're going to get into it right now. Of course, big shout out once again to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash your subscribe. So these are the results from, of course, earlier in the weekend. Starting at the top of the shop there, Fulham could do nothing against Man City at home. 4-0 winners for Man City. I went with a 2-0 win myself. Meanwhile, Brentford with a 2-1 win over Bournemouth. I went the other way on that one. Everton with a 1-0 win over Sheffield United. 2-0 winners in my eyes, of course. And with Dyche, they cannot do no wrong. Newcastle United with a draw against Brighton. I went with a 3-0 win myself. Spurs, a squeaky bum time. 2-1 win for them over Burnley. 2-0 winners in my eyes. West Ham did pick up a 3-1 win over Luton, so maybe a bit of momentum for them heading into this one. I went with a 2-1 win myself as well. Palace, 3-1 winners over Wolves. Palace just look A-OK. They're going to have a right old summer, aren't they? Trying to keep hold of their talent and their manager as well. And Manchester United did lose to Arsenal 1-0. I went with a 3-2 win. And what a game we had on Monday night. 3-3 draw in the end. It looks like Villa are going to go at that extra level next season in the Champions League. Confirmed. Can they go a little bit deeper in the Premier League next season? Well, we'll explore that in a Premier League prediction, early door prediction video on the conclusion of the Championship final. We'll have that video ready for you. With my thoughts and takes on next season, of course, who is going down, who of course will be compete for the title and all that kind of jazz. So anyway, that is that. Of course, this though. This of course is the state of play in the Premier League with all deductions and things taken into account. It is City's to lose right now. A draw though against West Ham could make this very, very interesting. Of course, a draw and an Arsenal victory would put Arsenal in command because they have that superior. They got that 1 goal difference. Of course, I'm trying to think, is there any way? No, there is no other way that it'll be level, of course, because of the goal difference. A draw or a defeat for City gives Arsenal a chance. I think Arsenal have the more difficult of game, so that's, of course, also against them. Liverpool will be in 3rd no matter what. Villa will be in 4th no matter what. Spurs are in 5th no matter what. There is a possibility that Newcastle could squeeze into 5th with a victory, and Chelsea with a victory over their opposition today. Going down, Newcastle, we know about that. Anyway, that's of course the situation we have right here, right now. What about the situation, of course, in the Super Brew? Well, here it is, folks. Here is, of course, the latest round of results in the Super Brew. The Alpha VMPP picking up 15.5 points. Greeny, 15.5 as well. Russell Frost up there with 15, alongside Asharvin and Music, 12.07. If you see your name in there, please smash that like, smash your subscribe. Well done to everybody sticking to it throughout the campaign. Did better than me, of course. What about the leaderboard, though? It is the Alpha VMPs to lose at the moment. 367.5, 6 points clear over Blue Orbit. Daddy Cool needs a little bit of snookers if he's going to get in there. Lewis are also on the outside looking in. Bluebird, Legend in the top 5. They're non-movers. Ferris 77, they're up 4 points to number 6. Well done for him. He ain't giving up hope until the bitter end. I don't know what the maximum score is that you can achieve from one round, but it all goes down to the wire over there in the Super Brew. But now we're going to kick on forward to those last games in the Premier League, and there's some classics here and there's some really important ones for everyone this weekend. So let's get into it, starting with, in fact, let's just have a little talk about, let's go big screen here. Brighton against Chelsea, of course, that's happening today. This video will be out today. I do anticipate a tough game, a struggle, perhaps maybe a 2-1 win for Chelsea on the road. The bookies give Chelsea the odds here on this one, even Stevens compared to Brighton's 9-4. Manchester United against Newcastle at Old Trafford, potentially the final game, depending on how you look at the news for Ten Hag at Old Trafford. I think they'll rise above the occasion here with a 2-0 win. Maybe a bit of momentum in their wings heading into a final game against Brighton before an FA Cup final against City. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for United, a 2-1 win for Chelsea. But now let's focus, of course, for the final day this coming weekend, starting with Arsenal. All games kicking off at the same time around the grounds, of course, on Sunday, May the 19th. Be with you at the Emirates. Arsenal need a win here up against Everton. And, of course, their form is great. But so is Everton. 75% form for Everton right now, unbeaten in their last 5. They could be a sticky wicket for them. Arsenal coming into this, 5 wins on the bounce, 83% form for them right now. They've been near perfect, of course, but not perfect enough. Man City's perfect is a different level. They are second, 86 points for the campaign against Everton, who are 15th with 40 points for the season as well. Previous match between these two sides over at Emirates was a 4-0 win for Arsenal back in March 2023. The reverse fixture at Goodison, a 1-0 win it was for the Gooners as well. I did say Arsenal have the more difficult game. They do. I still think this is a more difficult game. Both games, both important ones, Arsenal and City are at home. So trophy madness could be crazy. I'm sure the trophy will be in Manchester. But you never know. You never know what they're going to do in this kind of scenario. So, yeah, Arsenal looking good in the form. And of course, recent matches between the two sides. The bookies, though, 6-1 on. Arsenal should win this one. 6-1 is the draw. 14-1 is, of course, your away win. I'm going to go with an Arsenal victory, 2-0 win for me on that one. Brentford up against Newcastle. Brentford turned it around late at the Community Stadium this weekend up against the Geordies. Played the 8 times since 2016. 1 win for Brentford, 6 wins for Newcastle. There's been 1 draw between these two sides. Brentford, though, 67% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Of course, they are 16th. They had a real bad season, really. And, of course, the future of Ivan Toney is something that we'll be talking about over the summer. Meanwhile, the Geordies, 75% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 6th. 57 points for the season, of course. Busy week for them. Double match week. And, of course, trying to fight for that 6/5th spot in the Prem de la Prem. Of course, the last time I played at the Community Stadium, it was a 2-1 win for the Geordies back in April 2023. The reverse fixture at Newcastle, also a 1-0 win for Newcastle, who have won 4 on the bounce against Brentford. But the bookies, they do go with, I think it's very tight in the bookies. Actually, it's going in favour of Newcastle, 23-20 for the victory. 21-10 is your Brentford, 13-5 is the draw. I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win here. Newcastle could have a real strong end to the season and maybe finish into that top 5. We'll see. Brighton of Albion up against Manchester United coming at you over at the Amex. Now, this could be the final game. Of course, this today could be the final game for Ten Hag at Old Trafford. This one could be the final game for him as a manager in the Premier League, of course. 16 times these two sides have played each other since 2017. 6 wins for Brighton, 10 wins for Manchester United. There's been no draws between these two sides. Brighton just 1 win, though, in the last 6 matches. Has De Zerbi been found out this season? 10th for the season, 10th in the table, 48 points for the campaign, just 1 win in the last 6, 33% form for them at the moment. Manchester United, back-to-back defeats heading into this one without a win, though, in the last 3. 50% form for them over the last 6. They are 8th in the table, 54 points for the season. And, of course, they did play each other already this season. But the last match they played over at the Amex, it was a 1-0 win for Brighton back in May 2023. The reverse fixture over in Old Trafford, 3-1 win it was for Brighton back in September. In fact, Brighton have beaten Manchester United over the last 4 occasions in the Premier League. Goodness gracious me, they picked up 4 wins on the bounce. In fact, they've conceded just 2 goals against them over the last 4 games. So they do like playing them. And, of course, De Zerbi has been at the helm in each and every one of these. Of course, 21-20 is your Brighton, 21-10 is your Manchester United, 3-1 is your Brighton are favoured here to win this one. I'm going to go with a draw, which doesn't really do anything for Ten Hag's future, to be fair. 2-2 in my eyes. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Burnley, they're up against against Nottingham Forest, who will be playing Premier League football. We can probably 99.99999% say that Forest will be back. Burnley, on the other hand, will not be back. And, of course, we'll go back down to the Championship. Played each other 26 times since the year 2012. Wins Burnley, 7 wins for Forest, 7 draws, of course. Burnley, 1 win in the last 6 games, 33% form for them right now. They're 19th. They're down, of course. 24 points for the season. Forest, not great form either, though. Just 1 win in the last 6 games, 25% form for them right now. 17th for the table, 29 points for the season. And they, of course, if there was 4 relegation spots, guess what? Forest will be down as well. But unfortunately, they've hung on They've hung on for that, and all credit for them. Of course, they made the managerial change. Burnley didn't. They stuck with the guns on Company, and now are probably into his extra life for next season. He'll have to get them promoted again next season, otherwise he's on his ear. But stock remaining pretty steady for Company at the moment. Anyway, these two sides last played each other over at Turnmore was a 1-0 win for Burnley back in February 2016. The reverse fixture at City Ground was a 1-1 draw back in September 2023. In fact, they have played each other twice this season already. Burnley unbeaten against Forest this season, picking up a 1-0 win over them in the EFL Cup. The odds for this one, 90-10 is your Burnley, 27-20 is your Forest, 5-2 is the draw. Burnley will win this one, of course. No pressure. Forest are, of course, pretty much safe. They just can't lose it 6-0, and of course hope that Luton don't pick up a big win against Fulham, but I don't see that happening. Anyway, Chelsea, they're up in action up against Bournemouth, of course, over at Stamford Bridge. Played each other 16 times in 2015. There's been 10 wins for Chelsea, 4 for Bournemouth, 2 draws, of course. Chelsea winning 3 on the bounce right now, 58% form for them, 7 for the table, 57 points for the campaign. Up against a Bournemouth side, done fantastic this season, 11th in the table, 48 points for the campaign. However, back-to-back defeats coming into this. Not looking good for Bournemouth at the moment, form-wise, and of course their record against Chelsea is not great either, without a win in the last 4 competitive matches, of course. However, they did pick up a win. Actually, they did pick up a draw at Bournemouth back in September this campaign, losing to Chelsea last season, though, a 2-0 win for Chelsea back in December 2022. The odds right here, right now, Chelsea are 2-1 on for the victory, 7-2, the draw 5-1 is your long shots. I am going to go with Chelsea here, though. 3-0 win, too good, too strong. It all matters on what goes on today in the big games to decide if they can compete for a 5th, if not 6th spot in the table. Meanwhile, Palace against Aston Villa. Now, this was the scenario I was hoping for because, realistically, I don't want City winning the title, and I kind of wanted to go down to the wire. I wanted Villa to, I wanted Spurs to beat Man City to put a lot of pressure on this game because I believe this Crystal Palace team under Glasner are something special. I really do. The problem is, next season, what shape will this Crystal Palace team look like next season? They've got some real good talent, and there's confidence is through the roof. They're playing for each other. Their football is great, but both the manager and some of the players, a whole handful of them, are being, everyone's after them. Everyone wants to take these players. So if they could keep the manager and the players together, I think this team could challenge for top 6, top 7. At the moment, I really do believe in it, but that's a long old story. We'll have to wait over the summer, of course. Crystal Palace, though, coming into this red hot to trot, 92% form for them right now, winning 5 of the last 6. They are 12, 46 points for the season. Villa, though, without a win in 5, but they will be playing Champions League football next season after finishing 4th. Palace and Villa played 24 times since 1994. 7 wins for Palace, 10 for Villa, 7 draws as well. Last time around at Selhurst Park, 3-1 win for Palace back in August 2022. The reverse fixture, though, at Villa Park, 3-1 win it was for Villa back in September this season. The odds right here, right now, Palace 6-5 on. They should win this one. 29-10 is, of course, the draw. 14-5 is your Villa. Villa don't give 2 shits about this game. They're going to lose this. 2-1 win. Palace will take it. And again, boost to that resume for Glasner ball, and of course those the players respectively. Meanwhile, Liverpool against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool will be playing Champions League football once again, but Klopp will not be here. Played each other 23 times since 2004. 16 wins to Liverpool, 4 wins to Wolves, 3 draws, of course. Liverpool 67% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against a Wolves side, just 1 win in the last 6. 25% form for them right now. They are 13th, 46 points for the season. Last time around at Anfield, 2-0 win it was for Liverpool back in March 2023. The reverse fixture at Molineux, 3-1 win it was for Liverpool as well. So they've come into this back-to-back wins over Wolves. The bookies, though, fancy Liverpool here, 11-2 on. This is, of course, the final farewell for Jurgen Klopp, 11-2 on. They should win this one. 6-1 is the draw. 14-1 is your Wolves. There ain't going to be no party poopers here. Liverpool will win and give Klopp a farewell to remember. Unfortunately, the season offered so much, but in the end delivered pretty little. And of course, he will go with a bit of a whimper. Meanwhile, Luton Town against Fulham coming at you at Kenilworth Road. Of course, Luton not out of the Premier League yet, but pretty much there. They are 90. They're pretty, they're starting their plans for next season in the Championship, I would imagine. Of course, played each other 6 times. These two sides since 2006. 4 wins for Fulham, nothing for Luton. 2 draws, of course. Luton gave us belief, gave us hope that they could do it on their minimal budget and, of course, minimal package. To be honest with you. They made me a fan out of them, to be fair. Without a win, though, in the last 5, 25% form for them right now. 18th of the table, 26 points for the season. Fulham, 14th of the table. They've kind of gone off the boil a little bit without a win in 4. 33% form for them right now. Looking to get back to winning ways on the final game of the season. Last time around, though, over at Kenilworth Road, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2021. The reverse fixture at Craven Cottage was a 9... it wasn't. It was back in September 2023. It was a 1-0 win for Fulham. The odds on this one, Luton, of course, 7-4 for the victory, 13-10 is your Fulham, 29-10 is your draw. I am going to go with a victory for Luton. Of course, again, saying goodbye to Luton. The pressure is kind of off. They realistically can't, mathematically, they're going to have to do something crazy to get out of this one, but you just don't know. Maybe Burnley will put 4 or 5 past Forest, and it just needs a crazy number. Anyway, City against West Ham, it all boils down to this, to be honest with you. What's going to happen over at the FEI? Played to 54 times in 1983, 34 wins for City, 11 wins for West Ham, 9 draws. City, 6 wins on the bounce. West Ham, just 1 win in the last 6. This is what we believe to be David Moyes' last match as manager of West Ham. He's given them fantastic memories of the past. Can he add a little bit of spice to it and maybe dent the blue taff of Manchester? Of course, former manager of Manchester United, might want to do the City of Manchester a monstrously big favour. But anyway, the track record does not look great. If I look at the last 3 all venues, all go in favour of City. However, West Ham did pick up a 2-2 draw back in May 2022 in the Premier League. In fact, West Ham last victory over Man City in the Premier League, or anything. I'm going way back in the record books here. I'm looking for it. They did pick up a draw as well back in 2020 against them, but the last victory, you're going to have to go back to 2015. But was that before the oil money? I don't think it was. I think it was after. It was a 2-1 win for West Ham way back when at the Etihad. So it's been over 10 years, or nearly 10 years anyway, since that last victory. 10-1 on is your City, 12-72 is your draw, 20-1 is, of course, your away win here. West Ham will not win this one. City will win it. What I can say is that if West Ham want to just be party poopers for Manchester City, they could park the bus and just defend like men and maybe salvage a draw. And then, of course, Arsenal need to do the business against Everton. So that's probably the only way I can see the title going to London. Anyway, we're going to wrap it all up with Sheffield United against Tottenham. Of course, Wilder's boys, not good enough. Spurs, of course, not good enough in the end. 13 times they've played each other since 1983. 4 wins to Sheffield United, 5 wins to 4. Spurs, 4 draws, of course. Both sides really bad form, realistically. Sheffield United is 0% form for them right now. 6 defeats on the bounce, haven't won in the last 13 matches. Spurs, just 1 win in the last 6. 17% form for them right now. They are 5th, 63 points for the season for Tottenham Hotspur. The odds here, 6-1 is your Sheffield United, 11-4 is your Spurs, 17-4 is your draw. I think they just need a win, Spurs, just to get mentally prepared for a summer. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. And that, my friends, should be that. And of course, that, again, what I'm going to show you now is not the completed Premier League table, but it's the important stuff is taken care of. Top 4, top 5 is sorted out. Bottom end of the table is sorted out. But that, my friends, is it. Oh, where is it? There it is right there. Sorry, I didn't show you it. There it is right there. Top 4 sorted out. Bottom end sorted out. That is the completed Premier League season in my eyes. Of course, what happens next season, though, that's, of course, a story for another day. We will be back. I can 99% guarantee that we will be back for the Premier League. But what kind of shape the prediction leagues or the prediction shows will be completely different. I'm going to be coming up with kind of show with a new sort of style, all that kind of jazz. I appreciate you guys coming here week in, week out, watching the streams and watching the videos and all that kind of stuff. And any suggestions you want to throw in, please drop it in the comments. Drop it, of course, on the community tab. We'll be back again for next season, one shape or another. But until then, enjoy the show and, of course, keep on predicting.